What's going on, guys? This is Roan coming at you with another video. So this video is going to be a little lower key. It's going to be just gameplay, keep ripping through MASASHIMANIA, give you guys some more exposure into this deck and some of the things that you can do. One thing I also wanted to go over prior to jumping into my replays is I wanted to talk to you about the deck and some of the additions and little changes that I made throughout the deck. So the main deck is more or less going to stay the same. Other thing I wanted to kind of highlight, so I didn't really get to go into this into detail, but with one thing about Lord of Swords that I didn't say, so you already know about 52 card pickup. That shit is amazing. I love that. That's like probably the biggest highlight of this deck. The other thing though, that's very important because it alters your strategy, is that your opponent, like when the effect goes off, your opponent can pick up to how many ever cards he wants on his field to send to the graveyard to allow you and him to draw. Let me put it into more easy words, I guess. So effect goes off, he gets to choose. Let's say he chooses 3 cards. He takes 3 cards off his field, throws them into the graveyard. He ends up drawing 3 cards. You end up drawing 3 cards. Now, why this is bad is that one of his effects is that all of the stuff in the graveyard goes flying back into the deck. But now, let's say that he has 1 card or 2 cards in his hand, and you're trying to like jockey to send all of his cards back into his deck, and now he only contends with 2 cards. The strategy would be is to try to eliminate as many cards off of his field as possible, so that way he keeps only 2 cards in his hand and he doesn't have very much gas. So bear that in mind when using this card. The ideal scenario is that he has no cards on his board when you bring out this Lord of Swords, so you can attack and send everything back into his deck, and then maybe he has 1 or 2 cards to contend with, maybe 0 cards. Like that you're gonna see that in another replay. But yeah, so that's one thing that's important about this card, just to keep in mind. Everything else is the same. Now, going into the extra deck, like I had a very mild extra deck in my first video. I actually tried to like beef it up with a lot of useful Xyz monsters, and I wanted to kind of go into a little detail about them. So Mosquito, I think this card would be very applicable. It's 2+ level 2 monsters. Cannot be destroyed by battle. You take no damage. That's very good because you kind of want to stall. Also, the idea behind this card is you detach 1 material from this card and you can place a counter on a face-up monster. And what's nice about this is that it can actually negate that monster, or any activated effects. Also, if you use his effect again, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one of the monsters with the hallucination counter. That's big because if there's any big, powerful monsters on his board, you can just hit him with whatever it is. Like if it's 3,000, boom, 3,000, take that damage. So I think this might be applicable or useful in this deck. Marrowgeist was in my previous deck list, but the idea behind this card is that after damage calculation, you could detach the Xyz material and shuffle that monster into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. I mean, it did somewhat applicable. I mean, if you don't want it in the graveyard, you want it in the deck, think of like Tearlaments and some of these cards that kind of want you to destroy them and get sent to the graveyard. You can use this as a strategy. Roach, so if any level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, you can detach an Xyz material and negate the special summon and destroy it. Also important, these are all tools and options, really. None of these are like, oh, you have to build this, but at least it gives you a little bit more flexibility. The Kachi Kochi Dragon, also in my previous deck list. If you so once per turn, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, and it can make 1 second attack in a row. Pretty good. I mean, it's again somewhat helpful. I mean, if 21 times 2 is 42, so like, or you get it, like you can send 4,200 damage his way. Some of it may get absorbed by the monster, and maybe a lot of it gets absorbed by the player. So might help. Abyss Dweller. This one I think I may have wanted to detail in my previous deck list, but essentially you just detach a material and they can't activate any effects in their graveyard. That's also very big because how many of these meta decks now constantly are using effects out of the graveyard? Snake Eyes, Tearlaments. I mean, there's so Voiceless Voice. I mean, there's a lot of them that use it. Extinction Knight, bro, there's gonna be a replay with this card, and it saved my life so many times. I think I'm pretty sure I've this card or this there's a replay with this card, but essentially, if they control more cards on the field than you do, and in their hand, I believe, yeah, hand and field, you detach a material and just wipe their board. Huge. Like I'm telling you, I thought I was gonna. I think I was telling like my friend because my friend was watching me play. I was like, bro, I'm gonna lose this game. Literally, this game is over. I don't even know why I'm playing. And I was like, wait, Extinction Knight. Bam! Fucking just dropped Extinction Knight in there, and then blew his entire board up, and I was able to kind of work off of that, and I somehow won the game. So this card I would argue is a staple card. I mean, because at the end of the day, you want the whole board gone anyway, right? Like, I mean, you're trying to attack and just end this game as quick as possible. Stellar Knight Deltaros. This one I think I might have picked up and added to the deck. So I mean, it looks like it could be applicable as 3 level 4 monsters. That may not happen. You may not have 3 level 4 monsters on your board, but if you do, you could detach one Xyz material and start just popping cards on the field, which I think is kind of helpful. Crooked Cook. Jesus, I can't spell today. Crooked Cook. So 2 level 4 monsters. While you control no other cards on the field, this card is unaffected by other cards' effects. This one I'm a little iffy about because I don't think I'm going to have very many monsters on the field to use this card well, but at the very least it's unaffected by other cards, so at least you'll have like a 2300 attack monster on the field if you need one, and just kind of as a placeholder so they can't attack over you. But if anything else, it could just be fodder, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you are running a pot of extravagance, and you know 6 random face down cards. I mean, maybe this could be one of them, and you're just like, I don't care. Crooked Cook, just get his ass out of here. I'm not worried about him. So Baguska, I went into pretty good detail, I think, in my other video, but I'll still iterate just to be on the safe side. So this card is really great for stalling. I like it because I can set it to defense position, and all of their monsters on their side of the field are forced to be in defense for 2 turns, which is a very good, at least it allows you to stall, draw more cards, and just see if you can get whatever it is you need to win the game. Other thing that's cool about it is that if it's in attack mode, it cannot be destroyed by card effects or your opponent. So bear this in mind, your opponent's card effects. I went over that in my other video too, where dumbass me, I ended up using a Dark Hole and I ended up wiping my card by mistake because I thought it was unaffected by any cards, but it's only your opponent. And it can't target this attack position card with card effects as well. So that's also very important. So it can't target. Bear that in mind too. Like, so it cannot be destroyed, can't be targeted. Now, if there was like a card that had like, just all the cards on the field get sent to the deck, that will not protect this, or this card will not protect from that. I mean, this card will get sent to the deck, just hypothetically speaking. So just anything that involves destruction and targeting, bear that in mind. Now, this was me being a little experimental, so I thought to go into a Dreadnought package to see if it might work. I'm kind of excited to give it a shot. So the whole idea behind these Dreadnought cards, so start with like the 2+ level 4 monsters. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed by an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon from your extra deck one rank 10 or higher machine Xyz monster by using this face-up card you control as material. This is big because you can strike and hit someone, then you can get a free XE summon of a rank 10 or higher monster. So now, that 10 or higher. So now, you can literally go from this to this, which you can just detach a material and inflict 2,000 damage. Then you can go into this, which is 4,000. And honestly, let's see. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. It gains 200 in attack and defense for the rest of this turn. So that's 6,000 attack. Wild as shit. And during each battle phase, this card can make attacks on monsters up to the number of materials it has +1. Like, this could literally delete someone. So I'm interested to give it a shot and see if there's any viability. I'm pretty sure there's going to be, because you can just end people in 2 seconds flat. So I'll see where I can fit this into my strategy, but just so you guys know, this is experimental. I'm giving this a shot, so see what you guys think. And then obviously Zeus, right? Because at the end of the day, like, you attack anybody with an Xyz monster, you can just jump right into Zeus and then just get an easy board wipe. Make sure you have 2 materials, though. You detach 2 materials and you just send everything from the field to the graveyard. It's important, and it's send, so that's important. It's not that it's getting destroyed and anything like that. It's sending, so that's also very viable here. So yeah, that's the new extra deck. Hope you guys like it. I'm gonna go into some replays and show you guys what we're dealing with now. So let's jump into those. So yeah, I figured I'd give you guys a little bit more insight on like just some of the plays you can make. I think I did have some really amazing 52 card pickup scenes with my Lord of Swords card. So some really good plays. There is one in particular that I really wanted you guys to see, and that's going to be coming up very soon. So we'll see it. So this one, I mean, it's not a horrible hand, but it's not the best either. At least I got some board breaking cards. So I go Extravagance to see if I pull anything useful. I don't. So I just wipe his back row, set the Imperm, because I know that Lord of Swords isn't going to be used anytime soon, so I don't have to worry about this getting wiped into my deck. So now at this point, I'm like, is this guy playing stun? Hello? I'm like, what is he doing here? And so I immediately imperm this because it looked like, yeah, that was his only play. Now he goes to attack. I use Scarecrow because I have Battle Fader, so I'm not super worried about it. I get Pot of Desires, and I'm not super scared about this because I have Lord of Swords, so I can just send everything back. But then look Raigeki. Why? Why 2 Raigekis? I was like, what? Like, what? Like, Jesus, RNG. You gotta love it. So, I'm still playing through it, seeing what's going on here. He sets 1 and passes. Now, my crazy strategy, so my crazy strategy is attack with this, so that way I can get alpha on the field at the very least. So I just go that route. I take 2,500 damage just because. But now I get alpha on the field. I Raigeki, burn his entire, get rid of his entire monsters. And now at least there's this, right? I mean, at least I can do something sort of. I mean, it was a small risk or a small gamble because I lost a lot of life points, but at least I can guarantee a pretty beefy monster on the field. I go Raigeki him again. Now, this is my third Raigeki. I was like, what kind of bullshit even is... I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. Like, or actually, no, it's not my third. It's my second. Just kidding. But point is that 2 of my entire cards... Or, like, 2 of 3 in an entire deck. I was like, whatever, man. But then now he ends up using this, and he negates the effects of a monster on the field. And I got these 3 too. Like, the RNG hated me this game. But... now he negates the effects of my face-up monster, and I can't attack. So I was like, all right, whatever, I guess. I'll just hope for the best next turn. So now he's got Kashtira Ogre. I got Saikatama now, finally. So I get Saikatama. Now he uses his effect. Now Smart Me... Well, actually, no, just kidding. I'm actually making the right plays. But then, yeah, he ended up quitting. I don't know what the hell that was. And I don't even know why Saikatama couldn't get pulled. But it's alright. I mean, at least I got, like, he knew it was over there. Because I was just going to hit him twice. And then I was going to have 6,000 attack. And he was not attacking over those big boys. So... He probably just knew what the hell was going to happen, and he just quit. He's like, well, I'm going to lose all my cards anyway, so just fuck this. I'm just going to abandon ship now. So this is the game I was telling you guys about. So and initially I wasn't afraid of this game just because I felt like, oh, well, it's Runic. Runic relies on Banish. So long as I get my boss monster out, I should be okay. Everything should be fine from here. But man, the amount of time it took for me to get this stupid bitch boss monster out was so annoying. It took me... Oh, actually, just kidding. I have him. I was just waiting for the other card then. So this was crazy. So I don't have very much experience with Runic. So I was like, well, I can use Heavy Storm, get this card out, then use Harpies, and then just wipe this entire board out. But guess what? Bullshit. Just get another one. I'm like, unbelievable. So that's annoying. So he was able to summon another Huggins and then just protect his cards a second time. But now this is also annoying, which I'll explain in a second. So now I'm just kind of waiting, and I don't have anything on my field, which I think is actually helping me. Because he's just skipping battle anyway, so I don't have to worry about getting hit. And also, he's not really banishing a lot of my cards right now. So I think he probably has Destruction in Banish, or like effects that need to happen off of my summons or my monsters. But I don't give him anything to work with. So eventually he's gonna have to get a little bit more assertive. So for now, I'm just sitting here waiting. I get Aratama, which is huge. So this, I get Saikatama. Now I pull, now, so the thing is that I used Aratama already. I don't know why oh, okay. I knew what happened here. So I got Aratama, got Saikatama out, and then when I tried to use Saikatama's effects to get Aratama, do my usual combo where it's like Saikatama effect, Lord of Swords over Aratama, this bullshit card doesn't even allow me to activate Saikatama's effects, and it won't even let me swap out a card. Like, so if this card is like, so this card is on the field, it has to be all dark monsters. Now, I was pissed because I was like, that's kind of dumb because, like, I'm literally tributing this and getting a new monster out, but this card doesn't care. So I had to figure out a way to wipe this entire back row. But now this is good because now that card is gone, and now Majesty's Fiend is up. So I don't. He can't, like, Majesty's Fiend doesn't allow activated effects. So I feel like he locked himself a little bit. So I was gonna try to figure out a way to make this work. So now I'm literally just biding my time. Oh, actually, see, okay, this was dumb as shit. I was pissed about this. So I ended up using Alpha's effect because, see, Alpha is not an activated effect, it's a summoning condition. So when I went to put him on the field, I was like, oh, it's a summoning condition, I can attack over him, this is huge. But then he ended up, one of his bullshit back row like trap or spells and screwed me. So now Aratama, see, that's the other thing I tried to do. I tried to Aratama and activate effect, and I was like, I'm a fucking moron because like Majesty's Fiend is up. Like, I was starting to tilt a little bit and not thinking through my game clearly. So now Aratama's done because he's probably gonna. Oh, actually, I get so. This is the game of a comedy of errors, I'll tell you right now, because like Aratama was my first mistake because I couldn't activate effect anyway, and then even to activate effect to bring him back into my hand, so that was beyond stupid. Secondly, I activate Dark Ruler to get rid of Majesty so that way I can activate an effect, but what am I activating the effect for? Like, the stupid Gozen's still up. It makes no sense for me to do this. So I was tilting and not thinking clearly and making a lot of mistakes. But at the very least, it allowed me to set up Lord of Swords. Like, I was still able to set at the very least. So I activated set and hoping that I was able to get rid of this Majesty's Fiend. So that's my goal here. Just try to get rid of Majesty's because it's on the field. I just got to flip it up and activate its effect. So I let him play. And the other thing is, I think Huggins is only at 2. And I think that both of them are here, so there's no more protection. Oh, actually, no, there's at 3. But either way, they're both, they're all gone. Like, there's no Huggins anymore, so there's no protection. So I was like, all right, well, like, now I just have to try to figure out a way to destroy the back row. But look at what I end up doing. So here, he ends up setting the Majesty's Fiend and a barrier statue, expecting to try to lock me into, I guess, light monsters, which I was like, I guess. But they're both in attack position, and guess what doesn't, loves attack position? Lightning Storm. So I wipe these 2 cards out, so now I'm able to activate my effect at this point. Activate effect. He goes Synchro Zone, so I can't attack, which I don't even give a shit about at this point. So I'm just like, haha, fuck you and all of your cards. I was like, got you, finally. So everything finally comes back to me. I get my deck back, and now he has to try to play through this. I set Maxi up to try to get some extra draws, which I start doing. He realizes it wasn't worth it. Oh my gosh, that satisfaction when I was like, haha, motherfucker, Lord of Swords, I just fucking flipped that over, and I was like, got his ass. I was so happy. So yeah, I was just waiting for that opportunity just to get that Lord of Swords to happen. Once he realizes that that's what was going to happen, he probably figured it wasn't worth playing anymore because he wasn't going to deck me out. So this, I mean, the thing is like I always try to look and see if I have at least Saikatama and or just some kind of spirit card, or maybe even the boss monster. So I get Saitama. That's one part of the problem, which, or I mean, one part of the solution, which I'm real happy about. And then it's just a matter of trying to get my boss monster. So I try to use Dark Hole here like an idiot, because clearly that didn't do anything. Then I go Pot of Desires to draw 2. Now, I mean, that was actually a very odd game, because I didn't even, like, I was going to go into Yada Lock him, because he only had 2 cards in his hand, but I didn't even get there. I didn't even get that far. So he would have gotten Yada Locked for sure. So this deck, so like immediately I'm thinking burn. I was like, oh, 4 and pass. That has to be either or burn or labyrinth. There we go, labyrinth. That was the trap deck. So I have like a pretty decent hand overall. I mean, at least to like get Maxi to draw some cards. So I go Pot of Extravagance, get that going. It's ninjutsu. So I was like, okay, I was clearly wrong. I was like, this is not going to happen. But at least I get to evenly. There's only 1 card on the field. Get Artama. Get Yada. I go Lord of Swords to get that card off the field. Or I was attempting to get the card off the field, but then he ended up putting it in the graveyard himself, drawing 1. I was like, yeah, whatever. So now, 2 cards in his back row. I go Saitama into Lord of Swords again, just to continually be annoying. So he gets to draw 2 more. Which, I mean, I was kind of okay with, because I thought at the end of the day, like, he's going to keep drawing, but hopefully he starts running into stuff that he doesn't want. Which is clearly not the case, because he was going into, like, he actually did have something pretty useful out. But can't be destroyed by battle, but not by card effects. So I put out often that just, well, bam, fucking Harpies to get that out. And then, well, bam, Raigekis took his ass out. So now I'm sitting amazingly, because check this out. Yeah, he didn't even want to see it. he didn't want to see it, therefore I couldn't show you guys. But yeah, I was about to go into Lord of Swords again. That would have been 6,000, and he would have lost. So it was over. That was a done deal. So this deck is actually pretty all right. Like, again, Saitama alpha for like going second, and even the Nibiru. So if he keeps going crazy and summoning, then I can make something happen. But oh, this is this game. Oh my god, this you guys are gonna laugh so hard at this silly game. So Heavy Storm to take out his traps. I go Max C just to try to hit that card again to do the alpha thing. Then I just go and draw. He gets Nightmare Pain. I do get to kill him, which, I mean, was kind of bad, because I kind of wanted it to be something that I can actually take damage from, because then I could have gotten Alpha out. But it is what it is. So now I'm praying that he summons enough, because he has this, he's going to just keep summoning, and I can just try to wipe him with Nibiru. See if that comes into play at any point. Which it doesn't. He hits me for 4,000, which is kind of dangerous. That's a lot of damage. But that gives me alpha now, at least. So I go in alpha. He pulls out a U-Bell. I get that monster out straight away. Now I pass. You know why? Because Nightmare Pain's effect is if anything's in attack position, you have to attack it through your battle phase. You can't skip it. So I was like, nah, I'm leaving nothing on my field for you to start that bullshit with me. So he continues doing his stuff. I just kind of wait it out. That's 3 summons, 4 summons, 5 summons. I go yoink, threw that shit away. But now the thing is that this is a lot of damage, but I'm okay with it. Because, well, I mean, I wasn't okay with that. That kind of sucked, but I mean, that was his play. But now I can take away the Primal Token with Alpha. Which I think I'm going to do here. Yeah. Or well, no, no. So that sucked. So I was torn because I think what I really should have done here is I probably should have alphaed and alpha affected this to get him to use that, and then Aratama to like go into my usual nonsense. But I ended up doing the opposite. So I just get this token out of the way. Now I go Nikatama. And to see, this is where so remember how I told you earlier in the video where I was like, I fucking lost. I'm going to lose. This is going to be extremely bad. Well, good thing for Evil Extinction Knight. I was like, what are my options? What are my options? I can get 2 level 4s. What's in my extra deck? Just thinking, and then boom, I get Evil Swarm and just wipe everything off the board. Everything is gone. I mean, he does get to use his effects and whatever else to get more things on the field. But I do have Alpha, so I was able to attack, you know, and put him down. At least I was able to attack one monster with that had an attack. But now the cool thing is I have 2 of these. So I'm sure he was like, you know, freaking foaming at the mouth, like, oh, I'm going to hit him now, and we're going to end this game. You know, I got Nightmare Paint up, and it's fine. So battle starts. I said, nope. I said no a second time. And now, this was funny. Look, okay, so before this even happens, I just want you to read the card for a second. Where does it say this? I need to show you guys for a second. Yeah, so here, once per turn during your end phase, destroy all other monsters on the field. I could not stop laughing. What a moron. So he puts this up, he gets Phantom View Bell, end phase rolls around, you know, just cue it up. Everything off the field. So that cracked me up. So now he can't attack me anyway, but now I can do bullshit to him because now I got my combo. I got Saitama into Lord of Swords. Lord of Swords. Now, he does, so that's the other thing he did. So he actually took his whole board, but then even though he took his whole board, I got a board now, or I got a hand now too, even though he may have a hand. So it's you know, tricky and scary because I just don't know really what to expect. But at least I still get everything back into my deck, which is pretty awesome. So here, I do have a Swift Scarecrow, so that's one thing that I was kind of happy about. But now, the thing is that if he was smart, and he's not... Actually, yeah, he wasn't smart. Because I was wondering if he was going to use U-Bell. Like, you know, he could have went into an attack monster, maybe kept the U-Bell off to the side, and then attacked me, and then he totally could have won the game, because Swift Scarecrow, activate U-Bell, I lose. But he just threw U-Bell up, and I was like, okay. I don't know if he just didn't have anything in his hand or what. But now I go Pot of Extravagance, just to see if I can get something. He wastes his Ash, because it didn't matter. I was going to Dark Hole him. And then just go right back into the same exact thing I did as before. Aratama, get Yatagarasu just because. Go into Lord of Swords. He wipes his entire board. So this was calculated, like a little bit calculated, because my plan was I was gonna do Lord of Swords, go Raigeki, destroy his monsters, so that way I could skip my battle phase. But he ended up just wiping the entire board for me, and I was like, okay. And then I just tacked him for game. I was like, all right, like. My friend was watching this game, and he had me laughing because he's like, yo, this guy must be the dumbest or most inexperienced U-Bell player, because you could have lost like maybe 3 or 4 turns. Thankfully, I didn't have to worry about it. I mean, like, I was able to outplay him somehow. So, yeah, now this one is, I mean, this was me being a little petty. Like, this was a bit of a jerk move, but you're going to see what exactly happens here. I mean, it did not have to last 17 turns, but it was still kind of funny to play through. So Aratama, I get Lord of Swords, I go Pot of Desires to see if I can get... Nope, I didn't get it. So now I just pull Aratama back, and hopefully he can't one-turn kill me. Hopefully. So I get Maxi, start getting free draws. I get the card of the year, Yatagarasu. Now he just keeps, like, just going crazy. I get my Swift Scarecrow, thankfully. I have that present so that way I can avoid his battle or his battle. Now I go and imprint. So this is crazy because now these cards I wasn't worried about. Like I'll spare you guys from reading them. This one I was worried about because while this Xyz monster is summoned, your opponent cannot target monsters you control with 2,000 or more attack with card effects. That's a problem because now if I were to go into like Lord of Swords or anything else, they won't be affected. So I just imperm this to stop that from happening. I Lightning Storm to destroy that card. I Raigeki to destroy all the other cards because this would not have went through. And guess what? He has no cards. So, yada lock, yada yada. And that was it. So now literally this whole replay is him just not wanting to quit. Like that's why I say it's a little petty because he just does not want to quit. He literally is like, I don't feel like quitting. And the thing with me is that I don't know what cards he has or what his deck is, really. So I'm just going to attack with Aratama and Yada till the game is over. Or at least until I can get him down enough to go with Lord of Swords. And that's literally this whole game. I'm still going to let this play out just so you can see how annoying this is. Literally, like, he can't play Aratama, Yadagarasu, boom, boom. 1,000. Another 1,000. And he's legit. He's locked. He literally cannot play. And honestly, I don't even know why he kept playing. But, maybe he was just expecting me to DC or something like that. I mean, while I was playing this, I was laughing the whole time, just kind of telling, because, like, again, my friend was watching me play, and he was just like, bro, you're a dick. He's like, this is crazy, how you literally won just off of these 2 cards alone, or let's say 3 cards. But eventually, I get under 3,000, and then I could just finish him off with Lord of Swords. And this is where I get a little petty. Like I'm a bit of a dick because I actually let it drop a little bit under 3,000. Like I just attack, boom, boom. So now this is where I can totally go Lord of Swords next turn. And I could just end him. But I mean, this guy was content to play this all the way out. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to keep doing this anyway. I was like, whatever, man. If we're going to be in here, we're going to be in here together. So then pull. Now this is where I'm like, you know what? Let me just Lord of Swords and just end this stupid game. So boom, boom. And then this was game. So now we got 2 more. I mean, this one I think was stupid because I mean, literally turn 1. I think this just must have made me laugh or it was comical, and like I just thought I would include it just because it was funny. Oh wait, I think I remember this game. Okay, yeah, so I'll let it play out. This was just crazy. The ultimate game-winning card here. I'll let you guys decide or think of what the game-winning card is in this case. So he uses 2 monsters. So he goes into this, and the minute he goes into this, I'm like, oh, this should definitely be a choke point. Boom! Get impermed. And then he said, yo, I'm going to imperm my way out of this game. He was like, no, I'm not playing through this. So I was like, alright, I guess. Although, to be fair, that was going to be my win anyway, because like I would have impermed him, he would have passed turn, Aratama, Saikatama, and then just start all my BS. So that would have been it for him. So this one, I mean, like I mean, these hands are like always mixed. I mean, this is not bad because like these are a lot of good going second cards. So I go and I imperm here because I thought that he was gonna start pulling the Blue Eyes Dragon. So I was like, yeah, I'm not letting him do that. He still gets one off anyway. Relinquished Anima, and I was like, okay, so literally no back row, all attack position monsters, Lightning Storm, ready for the lightning round. So hit him with Lightning Storm, drop that, yeah, all of his cards are gone. Aratama, get Saikatama out, right into, you know, the fucking Lord of Swords, boom, 3,000. Now he's gonna have to play off of one card. I mean, that's, or let's say two cards, because he's gonna draw one more. And exactly what happened. So now he has, like, just a card that he's gonna set, and I'm like, okay, I don't care. Now, honestly, smart him here should have took this card and threw it away and seen what he could have drew. He didn't. So, I mean, at least he, you know, lived, like, another turn, but now he's just going to have to, like, super top deck. At least he would have gotten two cards. I would have took the hit, but that was just me. He can't play anything. So, same deal. Saikatama, Lord of Swords. Boom. Dropped it. Now this is probably going to be game here. I really don't think there's anything else he can do. He has 3 cards. Yeah, that's it. That was game. And boom. Game over. So, yeah. And there are my replays. Hope you guys enjoyed watching these replays of everything. I mean, I'm slowly climbing. Like, I mean, I don't have as much, like, I guess, time to really climb like I used to, and really just work on grinding as much as I can and try to climb the ranks. But I mean, I'll still try to, like, keep playing when I can, save some replays for you guys to view through, and see if I can get anywhere with this deck. This deck is a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's just there's something satisfying about that 52 card, just everything just flying right back into the deck. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I mean, we'll see how long I can ride this out. I mean, eventually I'm going to start going into other decks. Like, there's another deck that I've been working on that I'm really interested in playing, but it's probably going to be a mainstream deck that everybody has. So I thought I'd do something different and just kind of maybe like an anti-meta deck or something different than all what everybody else is playing, so you guys could see, like, a different look at a deck. So thank you guys for watching. I'll probably put up another gameplay video real soon, and I'll see you guys in that next video.